That's
It's the stress.
Happens. So much stress. Jeez.
No stress in this recording studio.
Oh, I bet you're not stressed. You're like, woo, I got one on the floor.
That's it. I'm secretly very excited to finally get a chance to kill a character.
Yeah.
No, that's not true at all. That's not true at all. It's not. This is not the first time we've been in a sticky situation in this podcast, but it is the most recent.
The smile on your face says otherwise.
To be fair, I know I've said this before, but I'm astounded that we haven't lost a character yet at 148 episodes.
Why would you say that? Why would you say that?
That's a great way to endear yourself. It's a great way to endear yourself to a party member who is down and dying.
It's good going, though.
Dear.
148 hours of gameplay, pretty much.
Probably more than that. Let's be honest. When you think about all the times that I used to run long before we, before we actually started making the episodes around an hour long, but certainly at least 148 hours. Done well.
Yeah, doing
that's
good.
it. You've had a good run, and now it's time to get TPK by a random encounter in the woods.
Was this a random encounter? Oh my god! That's that would be embarrassing, wouldn't it?
I mean, finding the bodies. I'll tell you this for free. Finding the bodies of the Winter Guard. You were always going to come across that. The encounter was to see if the Perytons were still hunting in the area whilst when you came through.
And they were.
They
to
were.
Our detriment.
Yes.
They were.
Weird.
So, welcome back, listeners, to Tales from the 20 Side, a Pathfinder 2nd Edition Let's Play podcast. My name is Dom, and I'm your GM for this game and for many others, and I'm joined by Stu.
Hello!
I'm joined by Amy.
For now.
And I'm joined by Asta.
Hello. I'm sorry, I've just been kicked in the back of the head by my cat.
By a cat.
Do you mind?
This is for earlier. How dare you put me on camera?
That's it. She knows. Yeah, Amy, it's interesting you say you're here for now, because one thing I didn't tell you when you agreed to join the podcast was that if you die in the game, you die in real life.
Yeah, this is hardcore Pathfinder.
That's it.
It's taken very seriously.
You can't see it at the minute, but there is someone over the road with a little gun and a little red laser, and they're aiming it your way.
You know, a van has just pulled up in my eye line from my window that I can see. It's blue.
Hang on, don't you live on like the third floor? If you're eye line.
No, but if I can see them, they can see me, right?
It's
that's
UFO.
That's how it works.
It's a van on the road that's just pulled up.
It is quite funny though, Amy, because I think it's just you are sat at just the right angle that I can see reflecting off your glasses, like a blue reflection of your screen.
Yes.
So it's like
I can't avoid it. It's like it doesn't matter where I sit. It's always going to be there. I've got tint on them, so
that's it.
It gives me a weird eye.
but it also makes you look like a sniper is just homing in on your position. It's great. Very appropriate for right this second.
This is preparing for my
I
Star
just
Trek
assumed
character.
you were a White Walker.
Yeah, half.
Yeah. Half White Walker, half Borg.
See, now police are out. Oh gosh.
That's it. Cool. Well, welcome back, folks. How we all been? In the real world, I mean, not. Let's not talk about Dela too much just yet.
Yeah.
Though I know you have been whilst you wait for me.
later.
There we go. Yeah. How's everyone doing in the real world?
Good.
Weird.
Weird. It's been a weird week for you,
Weird.
Stu.
Yeah.
What's been going on?
Yeah, it's been a weird time. I've been like really good and going to bed early. Like I'll go to bed like 9 o'clock, and then I'll end up reading Adrian Mole till like 3 o'clock in the morning, and then sleeping in till 1 in the afternoon. Yeah. Don't know. It's weird. I like go to bed tired, but I can't. Yeah. Anyway.
I am on board with that. My current sleep schedule is that I wait until my partner gets up for work at 6 a.m. and then I go to sleep. I'm just awake all night at the moment, and then as soon as he gets up to go to work, I'm out. I don't know how I'm I know how I'm functioning. I have diesel.
Diesel, that's it.
I am still an engine, Stu.
That's it.
Energy
That's a callback.
diesel.
Callback right there. Nice one. I approve of that.
Yeah.
I'm very much a morning person. Up at like 6, 7, bed by like 10. The joys of a 9 to 5.
See, I have to go to
I
bed
by
like
contrast.
12 hours before I'm due to get up. I couldn't do that. I'd be missing
I need
4 hours sleep a night.
No, get up early. Have time before work.
Yeah.
Oh, but that's like the peaceful part of the day when no one's doing anything.
How do people function?
Coffee.
It's a great question, Asta. It's one I've never figured out myself. Still trying to figure out to this day. I'm convinced that people who can function, people who are morning people and or have a functioning sleep schedule, I'm convinced they're not real people. They've been replaced, much like birds. They've been replaced.
The pigeons, yeah.
Call back.
Full of the callbacks tonight.
Yeah.
All right. Well, right. You guys seem pretty excited to play. So, should we just do it?
Yeah, but how are you
wanna play?
doing, Dom?
Yeah.
We want to know how you're doing.
You?
I'm all right. I always forget to talk about myself whenever I ask this question because I don't find myself particularly interesting. So I'm grateful for you I'm grateful to you for asking that on my behalf. Yeah, I'm all right. I've had a good week. I've been in London looking after a show. I also had a job interview yesterday for the Other Palace in London. And I was very surprised this morning to get a phone call telling me they want to offer me the job.
Oh,
Which is
awesome.
incredibly exciting.
Are you taking it?
So yeah, I don't know. Is the thing. I need to take some time to think about it because I kind of submitted the application in a fit of mania last weekend. Just obviously, I mentioned last time we recorded that I'd threatened to quit my job 4 times in 3 days last week. So I kind of applied through a fit of mania. The opportunity itself is really exciting. I'm really on board with it, and I did put a lot of work into getting myself through that door and sort of obviously impressing in that interview. But it's quite a big decision for me. Obviously, as I think all of you know, like I live kind of in Oxfordshire, so the biggest question mark for me right now is kind of getting the commute, is getting into London. So I'm starting to look at things like moving at the very least moving into Oxford itself, so I can more easily get the coach into work. Basically, I've got a lot to think about over the next few days, and I'm going to be making a decision. Hopefully, starting next week. We'll see what happens.
Right. Well, I can also recommend as alternatives. I mean, obviously, you've got the Oxford Tube, and I'm guessing that's kind of on your radar.
Yes, that's my primary option at the moment.
But yeah,
yes.
But also, as options, because I obviously looked at this as well, driving into Hillingdon and then getting the tube in from there is quite a viable option from Oxford. It's not that bad. Or you can move closer to London.
Well, that's it. I'm
Wycombe.
Lived there for 3 years already, and not sure I'm ready to go back just yet. But,
it's gone downhill, mate.
Yes.
You should see who's moved in since you left.
I've couldn't. Yeah, no comment. No comment. Here we go. Yeah, cool, awesome. That's my life story of the last week. Exciting times. So yeah, the next time we record, and certainly by the time this episode goes out, I might have a completely new situation, which would be very exciting. See what happens.
2023, year of changes.
That's it.
Well, it's is it the Chinese both curse and blessing? May you live in interesting times.
Yes.
All for that.
Did you say that earlier?
No.
Because I think Rick also said that earlier. That's so weird. He was like, like the Chinese proverb. You always live in interesting times. That's so strange. What's that called when you start seeing the same thing?
Deja vu.
No.
I've had that feeling before, though.
No, it's like I watched a really interesting video about Garfield and how Garfield is everywhere. And then when you start noticing that Garfield is everywhere, Garfield is everywhere. And there's a term for that, and I can't remember what it is.
Yeah.
It's annoying.
I
You know what I
the
mean.
thing you're talking about. I know exactly what you're talking about, and I can't remember the name for it either.
Google.
It's like when
no.
a mate of mine bought a scimitar, which is a car. It's an old car.
I was going to
Very
say.
old car. And I remember when he bought it, I'm going back like 20 years when he bought it, and it was an old vintage car then. And I remember saying to him when he bought it, God, I haven't seen one of these in years. And then, like, driving home on the motorway, I must have seen 7 of them.
Yeah.
They stand out. They're quite, noticeable cars. But, yeah.
So I believe it's either Bader or Bader Meinhof phenomenon, or recency bias.
Recency bias. That's a cool phrase.
Recency bias. I like that one. I do like that one. Speaking of recent
sidetrack
events...
Yes, a recent event. Dire events.
Speaking of recency bias, I hope none of you have been attacked by a wolf stag monstrosity in the real world, but that's certainly what's been happening in our game. I'm excited to find out what's about to happen. Are you guys?
Yeah, I mean, I want to know if I survive.
All right then. Well, before we do, who among us would like to give us a recap on the events of last time and the situation you find yourselves in now?
I feel like it should be the special girl that's on the floor.
Dela swung her dagger too much. Maybe a really bit. And then did too much attack, and now she's reaping the benefits of that by receiving just the right amount of attack points to bring her to 0. So we've stumbled across these. What are they called again?
They're called Perytons.
Perytons, and from what we understand, they like to remove hearts of their victims. We've ended up making some sort of murder Congo line thing. So Dela's not doing very well.
Yeah, Dela pulled aggro on the mob group, and then remembered that she wasn't a tank, but by that point it was too late.
I didn't have tricks of the trade up.
That's it.
And previously to that, we made a deal with what was it that we were calling him? Stu. What was your nickname for him? Rocky. We made a deal with him after Dela won her first ever flute off.
Whilst performing her flute for the first ever time as well.
Yeah. And he has agreed to lower his part of the ritual magic that's protecting the hut as long as we take out his siblings, which we were on our way to do.
We haven't got there yet.
You were indeed making your way sort of northwards through the forest around the hut to find one of one of Ravathiel's siblings, or Rocky, as you've so affectionately named him. I wondered, does anybody remember her name?
I probably have it written down.
The lady that was in the bubble.
No, the her as well, but also the
Zephyr.
Zaphimari?
Very close, Zephimary.
That's the one.
And the bubble witch was Najena. Now, whether Alwyn remembers that is another matter.
I feel like with Alwyn, it's every time there's any kind of knowledge, any kind of like, does Alwyn know this? It's literally a 50-50 dice roll to see if he remembers it or not.
I mean, he's negative figures intelligence,
and you have a bottomless stein.
and he may not be sober all of the time.
Yeah, the two things are absolutely not connected at all.
Nope. Drink responsibly, folks.
Yes, don't spill it. Excellent. All right then, folks. Let's bring you back into the game. So to paint the scene once more for you, you have found yourselves in a large clearing within this within the forest that you've been making your way through. Within this clearing, you came across 3 bodies of humans wearing winter guard uniforms. They appear to have been in this position for some time, and all 3 of them appear to have had their hearts removed from their chests. There was a 4th body away off to a path to the right hand side that you haven't managed to inspect yet. Again, lying face down on the ground. As we currently find ourselves, there is a lovely little murder con happening, on the edges of which we have Alwyn and Chardonnay, who are sort of flanking, who are each flanking one of these 2 Peryton creatures, these sort of part wolf, part hawk, part stag monstrosities. Who in turn are flanking a prone Dela, who is lying on the ground and bleeding profusely from quite a nasty hole in her side. And you can see that as Dela crumples to the ground, one of these 2 Perytons howls a horrific screech, looks hungrily towards Dela's chest, takes a step forward, and you see the wolf head, the jaws open up, perhaps as the creature is going to, make a bite for Dela's heart. And as it approaches Dela a bit closer, the second creature, slightly smaller of the 2, sort of lunges out towards the first creature and snaps at it. And causes it to back off. They stare each other down for a brief moment, forgetting for a moment, seemingly forgetting that the rest of you are in the clearing for the moment. They stand off each other for a brief moment, snapping and snarling, and after a second, the larger of the 2 creatures, the one that brought Dela to the ground, eventually backs off from her and begins to take flight once more. And as it beats its wings and lifts up into the air, Alwyn, that would provoke an attack opportunity.
I've already used my reaction on this round. You
have, haven't you? That is correct.
Yeah, but thank you for letting me know.
It's all right. So I forget that I can see the map sometimes. As this first creature sort of beats its wings and lifts off the ground, once again you see its shadow begin to twist and warp as it passes over you, Alwyn. You've seen it do this before. Alwyn, I need you to make a will save, please.
Okay, because this is what it did to Dela, didn't it?
Yes.
22. Oh,
22,
no, 23.
Okay.
23 with the heroism spell.
With heroism, of course. So, with the 23 Alwyn, once again, you watch this shadow begin to twist and change and take on a shadow matching your own. That for whatever reason, that effect does not seem to stick. Its shadow returns to its normal monstrous form, and it begins to circle sort of some 10 feet above you, Alwyn. The second creature, meanwhile, having used its first action to intimidate the other into backing off, is then going to inspect Dela. Sort of bends down and sniffs her. Seems dissatisfied with what it sees, and turns round, laying an antler strike into Chardonnay. Okay, yeah, it's going to be a 28 to hit Chardonnay.
That's a hit. Now, just to say, downing Dela is one thing, but Chardonnay, ooh, yeah, that's a hit.
You just crossed a line, son.
It's a good thing I'm unconscious.
That's it. Okay. I rolled minimum damage on that. That is only 8 points of piercing damage on Chardonnay.
Okay, Chardonnay is still up.
And that, you may be glad to hear, is the end of those creatures' turns. We're round to Ryden. So Ryden, you're watching all of this play out, sort of a short way from you. You are currently stood 20 feet from your nearest ally, who is Alwyn. If you wanted to get to Dela, 5, 10, 15, you could get next to her with 20 feet of movement, and the nearest one of these creatures is 15, 20, is including the distance up in the air, it's probably about 30 feet from you.
Okay. So I'm gonna head to Dela.
Mm-hmm.
I've not done this in Pathfinder before. How do you go about, if someone's got a healing potion on them, like giving it to them while they're unconscious? How does that work in Pathfinder?
It's the exact same as if you were to drink a potion yourself. So it would be a single action to draw that potion, and then a single action again to kind of pour that potion down someone's throat. And unless Dela, and Amy, feel free to tell me if this is the case. Unless Dela would have been particularly secretive about where she keeps them, I think it's fair to say that you know where she keeps them. They're fairly obvious.
Okay, I would like to do that in that case, and try and get Dela in a bit of a better condition.
All right. So Dela, do you have any healing potions on you?
Yes, I have 4. I have a moderate, a lesser, 2 lessers, and a minor.
Okay. So you sort of look at one of Dela's bandoliers, right, and you can see she has four potions that are clearly potions of healing. One looks there are sort of there are 4 glass vials in 3 different sizes. One quite small, which you recognise as a minor, 2 slightly larger, which you recognise as lessers, and then 1 larger still, which is the moderate.
I think, given the severity of the situation, I'm going to go for the biggest one.
So the moderate. Okay, all right. You grab that healing potion and you pop it into Dela's mouth. I have a feeling that is going to be 3d8 plus something. Just trying to figure out what it is. Moderate. 3d8 plus 10 hit points.
Well.
Who rolls it?
I'll say you can roll it. Unless, actually, no. I'll tell you what. I'll roll it as it's kind of you're doing the action, but it's someone else's potion. I'll roll it on this occasion to save some time. Okay, good start. I rolled a 1 and a 3. And I rolled a 9 for the last die, so that's a total of...
A 9?
Yeah,
And a
9,
D8?
I say D8s?
Yeah.
I did. I said D8 and I picked up D10s. Let's try that again.
Speaking of
Better this
callbacks,
time. I know, right?
Okay. Yeah, you'll be much happier with that roll, Della. That is a 2, a 3, and a 5 for a total of 20 hit points back. Oh, sorry, I had a bit of a brain failure there. I do apologise.
It's a callback episode. It's fine.
That's it. So, need more coffee. I think is the answer.
I hope I don't die at the end of this one.
That's it. So
that's
yeah,
a waste of a moderate healing potion.
With any leftover movement I've got, I want to get closer to the creature that's still between Chardonnay and Dela to try and give it something else to hit.
So you have no remaining movement.
Okay.
The way that movement works in Pathfinder is you spend your action. When you finish moving, it's then another action to move again. Okay. However, what I would say is you could have got into that position before administering the potion if you wanted to.
If that's okay, I would like to do that.
Because you're pretty quick on your feet, aren't you, Ryder? Your movement speed's 30. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, you could easily get into that position before you administer the potion.
Brilliant.
There you go.
That will be me.
Excellent. So yeah, Dela, you wake up having regained 20 hit points. You lose the dying 1 condition, and you gain the wounded 1 condition.
Wounded. So that's -1.
It doesn't affect any of your rolls. Okay. However, if you were to go down again, you add your wounded value onto your dying value. So if you were knocked down, you would go straight to dying 2.
Yeah. Am I still frightened?
That's a great question.
So I was frightened when I went down. I mean, it's pretty scary being knocked unconscious.
Yes, yeah. So I think you can probably you can kind of role play it as you wish. Mm-hmm. However, the frightened condition reduces by 1 at the end of your turn. You've not had a turn yet, so actually, yes, I'll say you are currently frightened 1.
Yeah, that makes sense. Ooh. And it was 20 hit points I got back.
20 hit points you got back.
20.
Yes.
Yeah. Cool. Right. Cool.
All right. So that's the end of Ryden's turn, which brings us round to Alwyn.
Okay, so is Ryden effectively flanking with Chardonnay now?
No, because beforehand you had a murder conga going, which was Chardonnay, Peryton, Dela, Peryton, Alwyn. When Dela went down, she was still in that kind of central position.
Okay. And is a downed person considered flanking?
Now she's conscious. I'm going to say yes, that she's still threatened, because you can still make attacks from prone.
I'm good at hitting ankles.
And
that's it. It's your natural position.
Mm-hmm.
First action then will be to command Chardonnay to attack the Peryton in between them.
Sure thing. Roll those attacks.
Chardonnay will take a Jaws attack. Oh no! With a natural 1.
Oh dear, roll a d6 for me, Stu. Let's get them fumble cards going.
3.
Critical fumble from Chardonnay.
Well, I was going to be a character.
That's it. The god of death demands a price. Today, Dela is not that price.
Yet.
All right. Oh, this is nasty. So as Chardonnay lunges at this Peryton, the Peryton sort of backs up as Chardonnay does so, and just as Chardonnay is about to close his jaws on the Peryton's throat, and the Peryton whips its head. You watch the antlers come streaking across Chardonnay's face, and there is a yelp as you see a streak of blood come flying off of Chardonnay. And as Chardonnay sort of settles back to the ground, you can see there is now a large gash on Chardonnay's face, which is oozing a lot of blood. Chardonnay drew Bleeding Fist. and is now taking D6 persistent bleed damage.
Oh, that'll be at the end of each of Chardonnay's turns.
That's correct, yes.
Okay.
So at the end of your turn, we'll say for ease.
Okay. Well, Chardonnay's
Obviously, Chardonnay's turn is yours.
Yes. Chardonnay's second action will be to attack again.
Sure thing.
Oh, fuck off. Sorry.
No. No, you didn't.
I have just rolled another natural 1.
Oh my god.
No,
1 in 400 chance.
We found my
I rolled a
opposite.
5 on the D6.
Oh, fuck. Okay. Was he using his jaws again for this?
He was.
He was, okay.
That's all he's got to attack with.
Yeah, okay. So this time, Chardonnay, sort of growling and snarling, lunges once more. This time, Chardonnay kind of gets enough of his mouth on the creature's kind of downy wings. You see, it doesn't do any damage, but he pulls away, and Chardonnay just has a mouth full of feathers, and you can see he's just sort of coughing and choking on these feathers. Chardonnay drew, that tastes awful. because if this was a Jaws attack or similar, which it is, Chardonnay is sickened 3.
Oof. That's nasty.
That's quite nasty. That's not a great round there. I'll be honest.
Poor Chardonnay. Oh, jeez.
That's Alwyn's first action, to be fair. Alwyn's second action. So, can he get into a flanking position with Raiden?
Yes, he can. Well, he's used 2 attacks, so that's all his actions.
No, Alwyn hasn't. Alwyn's used 1 action
sorry.
to
Sorry. I thought again, brain failed. I thought you said, can Chardonnay get into?
Oh no,
Alwyn absolutely can.
Okay,
Yes.
Alwyn will do that. I'm guessing that's 1 action. And
Yes.
he'll poke at the Peryton in between with the rapier.
Sure thing. For his last action.
Okay, what are the
Please roll
actual
better.
odds? Because I've just rolled a natural 1.
That 1 in 8,000.
Are you rolling on Pathbuilder? Maybe you
I
should
am
refresh
rolling
the
on
page.
Pathbuilder. I have refreshed the page.
I
I'm
mean,
going to
it
use my
happens,
hero
but-
point.
Yeah, at least you got one.
I've got 1. Chardonnay doesn't, sadly.
Okay, if this rolls another one, it's rigged.
The listeners can't see this, but I have this ready in my hand.
I did not roll a 1.
Good.
Lucky for some, I rolled a 13 for a total of 28.
Fantastic. So if that had been a 4th natural 1 in a roll, that would have been a 1 in 160,000 chance. And at that point, we're stopping the recording so Stu can go and buy a lottery ticket.
Yeah.
I mean, I've done it
Only
with natural 20s. It's possible.
It is. But knowing me, I'd probably get struck by lightning on my way to buy a lottery ticket. Okay, do I hit with the 28?
With a 28, you will be very glad to hear, Stu, that a 28 against a flat-footed Peryton is a hit.
Okay, total of 10 points of damage.
10 points. You catch it with the rapier. As a gout of blood streaks off. Very, very nice.
Okay. Now Chardonnay needs to take some bleed damage, doesn't he?
Yes, he does. So, I'll roll, do you want me to roll that? Or would you prefer to roll it yourself?
Just rolled a d6 for
All right.
3.
All right, there you go. And then roll a d20 for a flat check. So I believe sickened applies to this, so it'd be d20 minus 3.
Well, I did roll 8.
Ignore that.
Well, I rolled an
Ignore that.
18.
Oh, there you go. So that would be enough regardless, even with the second condition. So yeah, so that gash it oozes for a second, and then it seems to staunch itself.
Okay. Now, sickened doesn't remain, does it? Sorry, sickened does remain. Rather.
Yes,
yeah.
sickened does remain. You can reduce your sickened condition by taking an action on your turn to retch. And yeah, also what I was saying there about sickened affecting flat checks, that's a lie. Flat check is never affected by anything, even penalties. It's just a d20. Which is nice. Otherwise, that'd be really nasty.
That's Alwyn.
That is Alwyn, all right. Which brings us round to the very conscious and very prone Dela Thornberry.
Oh dear. Right, so Dela, covered in blood, not looking so great, is going to rise from the ground as her first action.
Mm-hmm.
She's going to look at this treadmill, the Peryton, right?
Yes, yeah, the Peryton. Fantastic.
And is going to take a mighty flanked stab at it with her rapier.
Yeah, absolutely. Roll the attack.
Because I'm angry. I'm going to use my hero point because I also rolled a 1.
Oh no! What's going on, folks? Jesus!
Oh my gosh!
The dice want a character death tonight.
Yeah, I know. Jesus. Right, so that gets me with my +1 rapier to 24.
24 is a hit.
Wonderful. Let's attack it with some sneak attack dice.
Yeah, let's do it.
Rapier is. I didn't get all my dice on. Oh, that was a good roll. That is 14.
14 points of damage. Very, very nice. You heavily wound the creature, Dela, as you spring to your feet and you stab it in the back. I believe you got one action left.
Yeah, I'm going to stab it in the back again.
Go for it.
Rolled a 1.
Oh no, Dela!
What is going on?
Roll a d6 for me.
I rolled a 3.
Oh, wow.
I just
3
rolled back up.
3 critical fumble cards in one day. And remind me, what weapon were you using there for that?
That was a rapier.
That was a rapier. What type of damage does a rapier deal?
That's a very good question. It doesn't say on the sheet. I'm going to have to look it up.
That's okay. I have a feeling it's probably piercing.
I think so, yeah.
It is piercing damage.
Yeah. Cool.
Okay. In that case, you are very, very lucky because this critical, this fumble card does not affect you, Dela. As you in your confusion to kind of get to your feet, you realise you sort of dropped your things and you pick them up. In your hurry to pick up the rapier, you pick it up with the wrong end. You pick it up by grasping the blade. You drew wrong end.
I'm so glad I didn't choose my dagger last time.
Yeah. If that had been a slashing weapon, you would have taken d6 damage and then would have been bleeding, which would have been hilarious.
Yeah, that would have been. Oh my god. Okay, please no more ones. We've had enough ones now.
I feel like after recording this episode, we're all going to have to go off and have like just 10 minutes to sort of ritually cleanse our dice and stuff.
Yeah, go get some sage.
That's it. Start burning some incense. Cool. All right. I think that's Dela's turn. 1 action to stand up and 2 actions to attack. Which brings us back around to the Perytons. And I, for one, am very surprised that they got to have this turn. But there we go. All right, you see the first creature, the creature that had originally downed Dela and then sort of took off over Alwyn, once again wheels kind of over the entire battlefield. Alwyn, can you make a will save, please? As it wheeled past you.
Oh, it was so close to a natural 20, but I rolled 15 for 28. Oh, 29. Sorry. 29
Very
because
nice.
of the heroism.
That's it. Once again,
keep
this creature
forgetting.
wheels above you. You see your shadow begin to change form. I really want to actually get this ability to land at one point before this encounter's over, because it's a cool ability.
You did,
I mean-
did it not?
You did. On Dela.
Yeah, on me.
Yeah, I mean, but I want it to go again. You know.
Yeah, no, it was fun. It was fun.
Last time, I'll be honest, I didn't really know how to run the monster. Like, I was very much reading it as I was running it, which was fun. Whereas now I actually understand it, and now I want it to be.
Yeah.
I want it to happen. Regardless, it circles over you, Alwyn. Is not able to capture your shadow. It lands as it does so, and it attempts to gore you with its antlers.
As it landed, did it provoke an attack of opportunity?
No, moving into your threatened square does not provoke. Okay. That is a 22 to hit against flat-footed.
Oh. Yes, it hits. I was about to say, no, it doesn't, but yes, flat-footed it does.
Yeah,
Well,
die-
shielded at the moment.
Yes, Alwyn, you need to make a DC 11 flat check.
That's right. You've got your little gem in place, haven't you?
Does that happen first? If it goes, like, it happens after it goes through? Or does that happen as the attack's made?
What does the spell say, Asta?
Each time a creature strikes the target attempts a DC 11 flat check.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah. So roll the d20, Stu. If you get 11 or higher, something good will
No,
happen.
I got 6.
What is this? It's not even like the 13th or anything.
Is it a full moon tonight? I can't quite see.
I bet.
If it was, I'd have far more energy.
All right. On a d12, decidedly average, 13 points of piercing damage to Alwyn.
Okay, that comes off my temporary hit points.
Okay, very nice. And for its third and final action, it is going to it lunges towards you with its jaws opening wide. That is almost certainly a miss with a 16.
Yes.
All right.
Big old miss.
Okay. So that's the end of the first creature's turn. The second creature, which has just been sort of quite badly hurt by the rest of you. You see it looking around in a little bit of a desperate situation where the four of you have it surrounded. You see it beats its wings and flaps up into the air. That will provoke from Alwyn.
Yeah, I'll take that one.
Yeah.
As I stab at it. Total of... Oh, does the heroism affect your attacks?
I don't believe it does.
Okay.
Look at the spell.
That's only 30 then.
It's only 30. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh no, it does apply to it. So it's a 31.
That's 31 then.
Critical hit.
Yes! Some success! Finally!
I wanted to hear. Total of 25 points of damage.
Ooh, 25 points of damage. Nasty strike on this creature. It somehow gets airborne as you lunge in with the rapier. It howls and it screeches, and as it flies over, you can see it fixes its hateful eyes on the other Peryton, which has already sort of taken quite a pasting. Landing next to it as it does so, it turns towards perhaps what you assume was maybe its mate, and without a second of hesitation, you watch as this second creature tears out the throat of the first creature, and you watch as it collapses onto the ground. The three of you then watch in absolute horror as, having thrown the the Peryton to the ground. The second creature rolls the body over, and in vicious, brutal fashion, it dives for the creature's chest. And a second or so later, there is a crunching of bone and a tearing of flesh as a heart is pulled free. You watch as the creature chews and gulps and swallows. And I need everybody to make a will save, please.
Oh my gosh.
21 for Alwyn. Do you need a separate check for Chardonnay?
Yes. Yes, I will.
27 for Dela.
27 for Dela. What I will say, this is an emotion or fear effect, so if you have things that affect those, they will apply here.
Yeah, mine.
Very nice. So totals, Dela.
27.
Success, which becomes a critical success. Alwyn.
21 for Alwyn, 16 for Chardonnay.
16 for Chardonnay, okay. So that is just a success for Alwyn and a failure for Chardonnay. Chardonnay is visibly shocked by this and becomes frightened one. And Dela, Ryden?
29.
29. You succeed on this. As gruesome as this is, you guys are seasoned warriors. You've seen a lot of gross shit in your time, particularly quite recently in some cases. As brutal and as unnerving as this display of ferocity is, you steel yourselves and you push on. But Chardonnay, perhaps it's the sort of wolf-like resemblance to these creatures that just resonates a bit more with Chardonnay than the rest of you. But Chardonnay is visibly cowed by this display. He starts whimpering a little.
Whilst hacking up feathers.
Whilst hacking up feathers, and as the last of blood dries on his wound. It's not having a great day at all. Okay. That does end their turn. It is Ryden's turn. We're back to the top.
And where, in relation to me, is the remaining alive creature?
It is so directly in front of you. You have Dela and Chardonnay. Just beyond that, you have Alwyn. Just beyond Alwyn, you have the Peryton, which is currently landed on the ground, and has just finished feasting on the heart of its companion. So, in terms of distance, it is 5, 10. It is 15 feet from you.
I would like to use a reach spell to cast Chill Touch on it.
Right.
I'll need a Fortitude save.
Okay. I have a feeling that it might be misleading because Chill Touch is a touch spell. I don't know why, but I had a feeling it wasn't. But it's fine. But yeah, so you need a Fortitude save, yes?
Yes, please.
Right, let's get a Fortitude save. And a 15 on the die for a 23, Ryden.
That is a success.
Okay, so it's half damage, I believe.
So that is 13 on the dice.
13 on the dice, halved to 6. Nasty injury as this spectral hand clings to the creature. What I will say is, as you kind of as you watched as this creature pulled the heart free from its companion and swallowed it, it did seem to regain some of its vigor, just a little bit. And it was 6 damage. Still looking very worse for wear. That's the whole of Ryden's turn because it's one action to do reach spell. So we're round to Alwyn.
Okay, first thing I'm going to do is command Chardonnay to back away to the edge of the clearing, if he can do that with one movement, and to cough up what is the feathers.
Absolutely can. So one action to make him retch. So Chardonnay can attempt a Fortitude save.
Okay. That's a bit shit. 16.
16. It might be okay. Just checking that. That's what I want to take out the DCs. 16, I can tell you, is unfortunately a failure.
I suspected it would be. Alwyn's 2 remaining actions. He's going to raise his shield. Because he's next to one of these Perytons, isn't he?
Yes. Well, technically you're next to both of them, but one of them is now just nothing more than a corpse on the ground.
Yeah. The other one, the one that's standing, he's going to poke it with the rapier.
All right, roll the attack.
He's going to try to, at least. 23.
23 is a hit, Alwyn.
Hey! Total of 6 points of damage.
And you kill the Peryton, Alwyn.
Hey!
Jesus!
With exactly lethal damage.
Payback.
I'm going to suggest we get into the trees and we build a little camp and we lick our wounds. I mean, not literally, that's not good health and safety advice or first aid advice. Just saying.
Yeah. Let's get out of this clearing. It feels a bit dangerous.
So just as a reminder, this kind of clearing that you entered. You entered from the south, sort of from the direction of your encounter with Ravathiel. In this area where these 3 fallen Winter Guard were, there's kind of what looks to be a natural fork in the clearing. You can see there's a path leading off to the right, in which you can see what looks to be another fallen body lying face down, and you can see off to the left there is a path, but both of these paths disappear into darkness. It's worth noting. Nothing immediately obvious in this area.
After all right, we don't know, do we?
Well, I think we ought to just go back a little bit off the path, and I think we need to take half an hour.
Okay. I mean, I could do with the sit down.
Yes. Yes. Ryden, are you injured at all?
No, thankfully the creatures didn't seem all that interested in me. I'm fine, but I'll keep watch for you while you catch your breath.
Oh, thank you. Like to start doing a treat wounds on Dela and Chardonnay together.
All right. What DC are you going for?
It's is it 21? Is that the
20? So your DCs are 15
20.
is the base DC. If you're expert, you can choose to roll against 20 instead.
Yeah, I'll do it against 20.
All right.
Them.
Right. And are you going to roll, or are you going to use assurance?
I'm going to roll.
Right.
Here we go.
So for Dela, who are you treating first, Dela or Chardonnay?
Oh, Dela.
Chardonnay.
Dela.
Oh, okay.
No, Dela first. That's total of 25.
It's a success, which means you'll get back 2d8. I believe it's plus 10 for that level of treat wounds, isn't it?
Yeah, that sounds right. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So Dela gets back 20 hit points.
Thank you. I feel much better. And I lose the wounded condition from that, yes?
Yes, because you've had treat wounds applied to you.
Yeah. But I'm still frightened at the moment.
The condition frightened reduces by 1 at the end of your turn.
Yeah,
but I mean, that was quite that was quite a terrifying experience. Like if you want to role play that, you absolutely do that.
Shaken. Okay, and for Chardonnay, 22.
22.
Fairly close.
2d8 plus 10.
So Chardonnay gets back 19 hit points.
Very nice. I also think it's worth saying because you spend this amount of time. I think reasonably Chardonnay can spend some time hacking up feathers until he eventually clears those and loses the second condition.
Okie doke. Fantastic.
Just to save you rolling 140 saves, because that's not interesting for anyone.
I mean, Chardonnay's still limping a bit and whining softly. Chardonnay's still roughed up. How bad is Dela looking?
I am not as bad as before. I have been better. I'm covered in blood, but other than that, fine. I can still stab things.
Right.
And play the flute.
So how many hit points are you down at the moment?
26.
Right.
She's about
so
a
for a further 10 minutes. How long does the gem and the temporary hit points last for, Ryden?
It lasts for a minute and then it
Okay,
dissipates if it's not used.
Well done,
But basically until the end of combat.
Okay. For the next 10 minutes, Alwyn will again use Ward Medic, this time on himself and Dela. Because I've got continual recovery as well.
Yep.
That again, I'm going to do it the same DC 20. So, Dela first. Oh, 19. Bad luck.
It's okay.
And
Does
himself.
heroism still count?
Yeah. At least he doesn't. Actually, yes, heroism does apply.
Yes.
That's a success.
So you do get it.
Ooh,
So you
just.
get back. You get back another 1323.
3. Much better. Barely a scratch on me.
And critical success on himself. That's a 31.
Very nice. So 4d8 plus 10 back for yourself, Stu. Alwyn.
48 plus 10. 2, 3.
It's nice that that's
4.
extra dice and not doubled.
No, they're not. It's not a double on a crit success. You just get extra dice.
That's 34 back to Alwyn. And he's going to say, do you mind if we just spend another sort of 10 minutes here? I know we're kind of in a dangerous spot, but I could do with a little drinky.
If you want to do that, Dela wants to go and stealthily inspect the lone guard on his own. Just have a little rifle.
Yeah, sure thing. You can absolutely do that. So yeah, Alwyn, whilst you take a few minutes, sort of sitting down to have a drink, Dela slopes off back into the clearing. Just before we get to what Dela finds, what's Ryden doing this time?
I've just been keeping a watch over the area to make sure that we could rest safely, and if I see that Alwyn is still staying fairly still and in the same place, I'll maintain that watch.
You'll stay there, okay, perfect. So kind of as you're sat there watching, Ryden, you do. There is an eerie sense of calm that has fallen over this section of the forest. Throughout the time that Alwyn takes to minister to the party, you don't see anything out of the ordinary. with the exception of make a perception check.
Ooh. That is a natural 20 for a 29.
In that case, what you do notice after sort of 20 minutes is that as eerily calm as this kind of section of the forest is, it's almost too calm. It's like there is no other life in this particular area, and you have a sneaking suspicion that the presence of those two Perytons basically scared everything else away from this part of the forest. So Dela, as you creep back into the clearing. You approach. You pass the bodies of the two. That's annoying. You pass the bodies of the two Perytons, as well as the bodies of the three guards that were laying on the ground, and you reach the body of the fourth, who is laying face down on the ground. Again, you sort of look at his position and the ground around him. Looks like he was running away from the rest of the party down this right hand pathway. Didn't seem to do him any good, at the very least.
Should have stayed and fought. I'd turn him over, rifle through the pockets.
Right, so as you tentatively approach the body of this fallen Winter Guard, and you start to roll the body over, you roll it onto its back, and that's where we end for tonight.
Tales from the 20 Side is a Feagle Films production in association with Juicy Falls. Music by Alexander Nakarada and editing by Stu Jackson. Find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram and Discord by searching Tales from the 20 Side or by visiting talesfromthe20side.com.
Hi guys.
Wow.
You're alive.
Yeah.
You're alive,
Yes.
though. That's the important thing.
Yes, I did not die. That was a very, because we were like, can he like just take a heart out in one action? Because that's what it's got left, right?
That's it. I mean, I'll give you a little bit of behind the scenes knowledge. If somebody would like to roll me a quick nature check, I might tell you what was going on there.
My nature
You don't want it to be me.
10.
Actually, Arcana or Nature would give you this answer.
Okay, I have no arcana, but I can do nature. 16.
Okay. Dela's
Can I
not.
do the
Yeah,
Arcana?
you can do that.
33.
33. Wow. The suspense was worth it. Yeah. Yeah. Dela's not too sure, but Raiden, you got a pretty good understanding of these creatures. You're aware that although they love to eat hearts, they only like to eat the heart of a creature that is already dead. So because Dela was merely unconscious, they weren't interested in her just yet.
All that panic for nothing?
That's it. Though,
I mean, I was dying.
and also with that roll, Raiden, you probably know that if the rest of you hadn't been there to give it something else to focus on, they may well have just devoured Dela anyway. So here we go.
Yeah.
Seeing that Dela is still spooked from that encounter, I will keep that to myself.
There we go.
Look at what you could have won.
New character sheet.
So many ones.
Is that not the ultimate prize?